website, there is a template. It's been customized from the one I used on our farm to become GAP certified. I'm going to open up the PDF document just so it doesn't get bonkers. The Word one is on here so you can download it and just tweak it to your farm without having to start from scratch. All right. But this essentially, pending any updates or tweaks or what's specific to your farm, this will get you through the audit. So you'll download the doc version, customize everything, change the name, the address, and the food safety person. And then pretty much everything you need to address is in each section here. And you will see wording that is, again, taken from a good to go food safety plan for passing an audit. A few notes on this that are critical. When you read this, you're going to see a lot of the stuff is just industry standard language. It's broad stroke stuff you should be doing. This document, they refer to it as a living document. So anytime you make changes or going to update, you're going to want to change your food safety plan. Realistically, it's not going to happen a whole lot. But on that note, you never write what you think you should be doing or what you're going to be doing next year. You write what you're doing now, because where people get in trouble is if you write out a food safety plan to address risk on your farm, pass an audit saying you're doing it, and then don't do it. That's where you get kind of on the negligent side of things. And that's where people get in trouble. So never write what you think you should be doing or what you're going to be doing. You write what you're doing now, you score yourself on the audit, and then you make the changes you need to do to be in compliance with standards. I just want to show a few sections here. So for instance, if you look at like the policy on taking breaks, you have to have a breaks policy. Realistically, there's no reason for you to change this text at all. Like breaks must be taken in designated areas away from fresh produce and production areas. Eating, drinking, chewing gum, tobacco are prohibited except in the designated break areas. You print out a laminate sign that says designated break area, you put it somewhere, you train people on it, and congratulations, you get all the points. If you're going to deviate from this, again, you change the text to match your farm, see how you did if it's in compliance with the points, and you go on from there. Illness and injury, like for instance, again, you'll look at this section. Not a lot is going to realistically change because this is just pretty overview language about how you'll handle illness and injury on your farm. I did want to show you traceability up here. That sounds trickier than it really is. On our website, which was that produce safety K-State, let me just go back and show it right quick. We have different resources like produce safety guidance. You can go here to traceability, and there are walkthroughs on how to do this at your farm from a very simplistic overview level. Generally, any resource you need. I took almost everything I've used in the past, and I come from a production background, and it's all on our website. So always start here, save yourself some time and work. But let's go back to audit. Okay, I want to jump to one more section. So here's another one, employee training. I like to give my 2 cents on this one specifically because if you have workers and volunteers and you do an in-person training and when the auditor comes and they ask them questions, if they don't remember, inevitably you're going to get, oh, I wasn't trained on that. And you'll say, oh, I know for a fact I trained them. Whereas if you take this approach, there are DVDs you can get that are 15 to 18 minutes long. And there are flyers out there and they're on our website that you go through with the workers. And then when the auditor comes, you can say, this is the training program that every single worker gets here. They come in, we watch the video, we review the handout, which is specific to our farm and our practices. We have question and answers. So then if they get it wrong, you lose the points, but then it's just a simple matter of, I'm going to retrain my employees because clearly the first time didn't work as good. I am all about universal documented approaches to these things. It just makes your life easier, and it's a one approach to passing audits and keeping things simple. Any questions on the document? Because like I said, remember, you have to customize it. You write what you're doing, not what you want to be doing. And then I'd say the last thing too with audits, it will not give you a liability shield in and of itself, because some people are like, oh, I'm going to get an audit. So then if there's E. coli, salmonella, listeria on my produce, I'm protected from it. Not quite how it works. Does it help to go through this process and have that? Yes. Is it an absolution from legal consequences? No, I've never seen that be the case. Any questions on the produce safety plan? On our website, I put up about 8 other alternatives that you can click on from different schools that are pretty good with templates. So you can see different approaches, different languages, the way that people do like appendixes, examples. It's all on the website for you to have. So any question on the food safety plan? Okay, 2 more notes on it. With the audit, you're going to have logs that are required, depending on whichever audit you do, global, Primus, USDA, there's a plethora to choose from. They're going to have their own requirements of what you have to do. And I'm going to give you, for instance, of some templates in here. Like here's a pre-plant. So it's done anytime you go to plant for the year. It's a questionnaire. You go, you answer, you fill it out, and actually fill these out. Don't not do the records. That will get you in a bind at the audit, because then they just don't believe you're doing the records. You don't get the points, and it messes everything up. On this, I'll show you a few more. So here's like an operations log at the start of the day. And again, these are customized from our farm, different variations. We do the harmonized audit. It's just a simple yes, no for us and the crew chiefs to have when we start the day. We write any notes down here for anything that was out of the normal. Here's an operations logbook. We'll check mark a couple of these, make some notes on what we've seen and what we've done. The big mistake I see with records is people get to the end of the day or the end of the week, and then they go back and try to catch up on their records. That is not how this works, and that's putting yourself in a bind. Complete the records as you complete the task, because inevitably it's your name on it, and you're saying this data is accurate. So I would strongly discourage the end of the day, end of the week approach to record keeping. It's not how you complete this task. And I want to show you 2 examples of a farm map. Here you can see for GAP GHP, this is a GAP certified farm in Kansas. You can see the greenhouse area, their post-harvest area, and the legend. You don't have to be high tech with it. The map just has to cover everything. And you have to have a legend where when they come in, they look at your map, they can understand your operations. This was a religious farm that does not use tech. I would personally not encourage this. I just wanted to show you that you can, if need be, make it this simplistic. If you have any kind of experience with Microsoft Word, all this is a screenshot from Google Earth. And then inside there, I just drew shapes on top of it. So that way the auditor comes, they get an aerial, they see the field identifiers, they have a nice, pretty legend. And again, to say I'm not a tech person is an understatement. So if I can do this, the odds are you can too. But again, not much to it. It's a screenshot. It's some shapes and symbols drawn over top. If you are capable of doing this, this stuff looks great. This is a post-harvest area, for instance, where it's pretty much to scale with product. This is a good map. I can't do that myself, but if you can, it looks fantastic. This is more my approach. Again, we're back to a Word document and drawing shapes on the document. So this is basically an overview of a post-harvest area. So again, you can see you don't have to be super high tech. They just have to be able to have these things come to your operations. They have to be accurate. They have to be able to understand them, and it all makes sense. So in theory, with your food safety plan and your maps and your logbooks, they could come in without you, understand your farm, and everything be kosher. And again, all these stay on our website, so you're able to reference them throughout. Let me